2 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the first half. Pastorini fires deep. This will be right into the hands of number 44, Richmond Flowers. And the clock is gone, and the Giants intercepted 4 passes. What a way to end the half for Don Pastorini.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you so much. If you give this video a thumbs up or maybe leave a comment below or possibly share this video, it would mean so much to me. But just anyway, thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. On my phone, I got I got the NFL app, and I get you get updates all the time. You can put in like what team your favorite ones, and anytime something happens with your teams, obviously I put the Giants. So pretty much the way it's been working this year. Is anytime a Giant player gets injured, okay, which is like every other day, I get an update on it, So I got an update earlier, and I was talking about the updated injuries for the games today, okay, for this weekend. So okay, all right, cool. So it's like what's going on, what's the final decision on like the Giants and the Rams and all that. First thing I saw was Christian McCaffrey. Unfortunately, next week when we're playing Carolina, we won't be facing him. He's on the IR, so we kind of dodged a little bit of a bullet there. I mean, unfortunately, they may not have Christian McCaffrey, but sadly, we may not have Saquon. But at least that might help the Giants' chances next week when we play Carolina. But anyway, so I'm scrolling down, and the first game they got Miami and Jacksonville, and I see the injuries they got listed, and then they got Kansas City at Washington, and they got the injuries listed, and then they come to the Rams and the Giants. I'm like, all right, who's injured on the Rams? What's going on here? And then I look, it says Rams NA, not applicable. I'm like, what? What do you mean not? What? I'm looking. I'm like, yeah, there ain't nobody there. They ain't got nobody injured. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Then I look at the Giants, and they're out. It says Saquon Barkley, Kenny Golladay, Justin Hilliard, who they put on IR. Okay. And questionables, Ben Bredesen with his hand, Darius Slayton with his hamstring. Okay. Andrew Thomas with his foot, and Kadarius Toney, unfortunately, with his ankle. So, got to keep your fingers crossed with some of those guys there. But I'm like, well, I'm not wishing anybody get hurt. Not at all. But it's just like every week the Giants have like 2-3 times the amount of players hurt than the other team does. And I'm like, the Rams, and there's one other team. I'm like, does anybody else not have anybody injured? So I scrolled, and the Bills. Okay, so what do they have in common? Both teams are really healthy, and they both have a really good record. So, health equals can help equal wins. Okay, so in the Giants' case, they have all these guys hurt. Unhealthy players equals losses. All right, but so it just goes to show you something. There's only 2 teams that are totally healthy, and of course, the Giants are playing one of them this weekend. Absolutely unbelievable. You just can't catch a break. Just can't catch a break. Everybody on the Rams is healthy. Simply amazing. Absolutely simply amazing. Now, between Bredesen, Kadarius Toney, Darius Slayton, and Andrew Thomas, they still got to, obviously still have a chance of playing. Now, usually what winds up coming out is after, it's 8 o'clock in the morning here, game day right now, okay? So usually what winds up happening is like about an hour or so after this video comes out, then they put out like the final, because they got questionable, all right? So when the final list comes out, they'll let you know if Ben Bredesen, Kadarius Toney, Darius Slayton, or Andrew Thomas, if any of those guys will wind up playing or not. So but I gotta get this video out. But so if Andrew Thomas can't go, okay, then we might have the 6 different line combination for the Giants. Okay, 6 games, 6 different line combinations. Now, of course, we had the debacle at the left guard. Okay, we had Shane Lemieux, then we had Nick Gates, then we had Ben Bredesen. Okay, then we had Matt Skura, and we had Martin was in there as well too. I mean, then last week, because Andrew Thomas couldn't go, we had Nate Solder went from right tackle over to left tackle, and they put Matt Paye in there, who did very well. Now, this week, what I was reading, possibly, might have the interior guys might be the same as last week, okay? However, depending upon with Bredesen. Now, Bredesen is healthy, and maybe they put him in there, might have another, the interior might get mixed up. But what I was reading is possibly Solder and might switch, because according to the report I saw, said they might want Solder over where Leonard Floyd is playing at, okay, so they can help. Although last week, I mean, Matt Paye did a phenomenal job. He's far from a polished product, okay, but he did a very good job last week. Unlike Nate Solder, who didn't let up any sacks, but he let up a lot of pressures, and he let up some quarterback hits. I think it was like 8 pressures. I read that he gave. I mean, it was just an ungodly number that he gave up. I mean. So apparently they're going to want Nate Solder on Leonard Floyd. I don't know why. I mean, put Matt Paye out there and see what he can do. But anyway, so if Andrew Thomas can't go, we might have wind up with our 6 different line combinations. So we'll have to wait and see. Now you have to give Rob Sale, okay, Ben Wilkerson, and Pat Flaherty, the guys in charge of the offensive line. Rob Sale's the offensive line coach, but. Got to give those guys a big hand. I mean, there's been 2 games in a row. All right, it's kind of like a mash unit. We just like guys getting hurt, we're putting guys in. 2 games in a row, we haven't given up a sack. Okay, 2 road games, very loud, noisy road games, haven't allowed a sack. Very, very impressive. Now, the running game still has something, work to be done on it, but at least Daniel Jones has been able to stand in the pocket. And he's got a little pressure, maybe gotten hit, but he has not been sacked, or especially Glennon last week when after Daniel Jones got hurt. All right, but so you got to give those guys some credit. All right, and I said they still have to work on the running game, but it's a passing league, and it's great to try to be able to run the ball, but if you can't stand in the pocket and throw a pass without getting hit or sacked every other play, forget about it. But so far, I mean, the Giants have done a pretty good job so far. Now they're going to obviously have their hands full because they got Aaron Donald. Now he had a little problem with his knee. He ran into one of his own players apparently last week when they were playing against the Seahawks, and it caused a little problem with his knee. But apparently he's good to go. But I mean. If he's injured, he ain't going to be 100%. So maybe the Giants only have to block him with 3 guys instead of 4. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Now, the last couple times the Rams and the Giants played, the Rams won. The Rams, overall in the whole series, the Rams have, had the Giants' number pretty much. The Rams hold the series 28-17 over the Giants. Now, the last 2 games, of course, was the last year. They played, the Giants lost 17-9. It was a blown coverage on Cooper Kupp, which was probably pretty much the difference in the game. It was 10-9 in the fourth quarter. Cooper Kupp, 55-yard touchdown reception. 17-9. Giants had the ball driving at the end of the game. Daniel Jones could get him in there, get a 2-point conversion. Possibly we go to overtime, but Daniel Jones was being pressured as he was I think he got sacked 5 times last year. Try to create a little bit, some time in the pocket, was moving up, was kind of on the move. He threw a pass to the sideline. He should have thrown it more toward the outside, toward the sideline. He threw it on the inside of the field, and it got picked off. It was an excellent interception. Give the guy, defender, all the credit in the world for picking that pass off. But, we couldn't quite get the job done. But, I mean, the Giants outgained the Rams last year. The Giants had like 290 yards. I know what they do, but the Rams had 240 yards of offense last year. The Giants, were their equal last year, okay, for sure. And if you take the Cooper Kupp touchdown pass away, the Rams had 185 yards of offense last year. Okay, so, but then of course that was last year when the Giants actually had a defense, right? They don't have a defense this year, so, or not yet anyway, so. But then of course, then the last time the Giants played the Rams before that was in 2017. The game was at the Giants were home, and of course we only lost 51-17. Jared Goff completed 14 passes for 311 yards. Every time he completed a pass, it went for 22.5 yards. Absolutely freaking pathetic. I mean, a home game and you give up 51 points at home. Absolutely pathetic. Unbelievable. Now, that was Jared Goff. Now, now the Rams upgraded. They have Matthew Stafford. Okay, he's doing having a pretty darn good season, as we thought he would. I mean, coming over here, he's got some weapons. He's got the coach. Okay, he's got a good defense, which gives the ball back to him. Unlike when he was in Detroit, if he had the ball and they punted with Detroit's defense, Lord knows when they would give the ball back to him. But I mean, so Matthew Stafford, he's in a pretty good situation right here. He's completing 68% of his passes. He has 1,587 yards passing, so he has almost 1,600 yards passing. So he's averaging over 300 yards a game passing, all right? He's averaging 9.2 yards per pass attempt. That is phenomenal. I mean, every time you're passing the ball, just an attempt, you're averaging almost, not almost 10, it's close to 10, but 9.2 yards per pass attempt. Wow, that is fantastic. He's got 12 touchdowns already. All right. Only thrown 3 interceptions. Okay, and his quarterback rating is 113.2. So he's surrounded with some talent. Very good offensive line. Okay, and which is protecting him, and so he's in a very good situation. With Darrell Henderson. All right, he's doing a good job running. Between him and Sony Michel, they're doing a very good job running the ball. Henderson's ran the ball 60 times for 294 yards. He's averaging like 4.9 yards an attempt, almost 5 yards a carry. Okay, Sony Michel is very good. Don't underestimate him either. Okay, he only has 45 rushes for only 163 yards. Right, he's only averaging 3.6 yards a carry, but don't underestimate him. Okay, between the two guys so far this season, they have over 450 yards rushing. All right, so that they're averaging about 90 yards a game, combined. So they got a nice little run game going on there. Okay, now of course then they got Cooper Kupp. All right, he is he's got 37 receptions already in 5 games, averaging like 7.5 receptions a game. All right, so he's the problem. Okay, I don't know who he's got. 500, so he's got 7.5 receptions a game. Basically, he's got 523 yards, so he's averaging over 100 yards a game receiving, which is phenomenal. He has 5 games. He has 5 touchdowns. So every game he's getting a touchdown. So I don't know who we're going to put on him. God bless whoever you know what I mean. But it's gonna be tough. I mean, now not only him, okay, but then they got Robert Woods. He's got 27 catches for 322 yards. Okay, so he's averaging over 5 yards five receptions a game. Okay, then they got Tyler Higbee. All right, nothing phenomenal. He's got 17 receptions for 166 yards. Nothing phenomenal, but the giant killer, Deshaun Jackson. Now, he only's got 7 catches, okay? But those 7 catches are for 215 yards. Every time he catches the ball, he averages 30.7 yards at reception. That is unbelievable. And we know how he just eats up the Giants. So, I mean, the scary thing is that, the way the Giants' coverage has been, it could be, and the way we get no pressure on the quarterback, I mean, you're going to have a problem trying to cover a Kupp underneath, okay? But then if you want to, with the blown coverage and Deshaun Jackson runs past everybody, there's almost a guaranteed touchdown right there. So, certainly going to have our work cut out for him, right? Then we go to the other side, all right? they have a very nice defense. Okay, I mean, because if you got Jalen Ramsey, in the secondary, and then of course you got Aaron Donald on the defensive front. That's a nice 1-2 punch. Now with Jalen Ramsey, it's kind of almost like you put him on the field, you want to wipe out pretty much the best receiver, okay, of the opposing team. Now if Sterling Shepard is playing, well, he may not be wide out. So I mean, you might have you might have Jalen Ramsey maybe in the slot, or if we can get Kadarius Toney in there. So I don't know who's going to wind up playing out, out wide for the Giants. I mean, you got, the thing is, who's going to be playing out wide for the Giants? I mean, if you don't got Darius Slayton ain't playing, ain't going to be no Kenny Golladay. I mean, who you going to have out there? Right? You got maybe John Ross, C.J. Board, Dante Pettis, Colin Johnson. It's like, who are you going to put out there? Does any of those guys scare you? I mean, it's sure nice, because when you got Kenny Golladay out there, he makes the person on the other side of the field better, okay? Because they're got to pay attention to him. But now Kenny's not going to be out there. All right, Darius Slayton may not be out there either. So now you got those four guys. It's like Colin Johnson, John Ross, Dante Pettis, C.J. Board. Who are you going to put out there? At least if we can get Evan Ingram, all right, if we can get Kadarius Toney and you got Sterling Shepard out there, at least you got three guys, that can be somewhat of a mismatch, right? So it might give us a chance. Now, if he can protect Daniel Jones and give him some time, hopefully he can find, somebody open. All right, now we got, obviously, of course, because we don't have a Saquon, and we're going to have a tough time running the ball against them. It's certainly going to be a challenge. The Giants, as I said, the Giants haven't given up a sack in any, in the past two games. All right, so that's pretty doggone impressive. Now the thing is that the Rams have gotten 14 sacks. Okay, so the average, the Rams are averaging 3 sacks a game. So it's the Giants' offensive line's got its working out for you. Now on the defense, you got Patrick Graham talking about the way they played against the Cowboys so far, it's unacceptable. Yeah, well, no kidding. Now this is like this is the big boy game. Where, you got to put the big boy pants on, okay? Talking is it's unacceptable. Yeah, well, that's fantastic. All right, what are you going to do about it? What are the guys going to do about it? Okay, you're at home. All right, you got a game. You got a shot at winning. Okay, you got a shot. All right. You're in front of your home crowd. If you can get the home crowd going, that's going to help you. Obviously, if you start playing like the way you did against Denver, the home crowd starts filing out halfway through the fourth quarter. You just lose everything. Now, the Giants, I mean, they got a shot. The Rams, aren't. They've done a good job statistically, okay, but they're not absolutely phenomenal. All right. The first downs, the Rams have gotten 109 first downs, okay, so far. They've given up 122 first downs, all right. Third down conversions, the Rams are 27 out of 56, so are averaging almost 50% third down conversions. However, their defense has given up 28 out of 58. Their defense has almost given up 50% third down conversions, okay. Total yards, the Rams have 2,041 total yards. They've given up 1941, so they only have 100 extra yards than they've given up. So that's 20 yards a game extra per game. That's not much. Rushing yards, the Rams only have 490. They've given up 586. So they've given up an extra 100 yards rushing. All right. Sacks, though, okay, they got 14. They've only given up 4. Okay, so that's not a good combination. The Giants have no pass rush, and the Rams only given up 4 sacks all year so far. That's not a good combination, especially if you want to try to get Matthew Stafford riled up or sack him or whatever, put pressure on him. The Giants are going to have a very, very tough time trying to do that, okay? The turnover margin, I mean, the Rams are 4-1. You figure that, sometimes teams are, that they might have a +8 turnover margin or something. No, the Rams only have one more turnover. They're +1 in the turnover margin. Okay? So it's not like their defense is taking the ball away and their offense is keeping the ball and not giving it away. You know what I mean? You know, they're very ordinary, very pedestrian. Okay? Time of possession. The Rams have the ball for 28 minutes and 15 seconds. They've given up 31 minutes and 44 seconds. So the other team has the ball longer than the Rams do. They're just very, very efficient when they do have it. Now, problem here, passing touchdowns. The Rams have 12. They've only given up 6. Very, very good. Okay, so the Giants don't have many passing touchdowns, and the Rams don't give up many passing touchdowns. So that's not a good, that's not good for the Giants. The Rams, they beat the Bears the first game of the season, 34-14. The Bears are not a phenomenal team. Okay, the Rams beat the Seahawks 26-17. The Seahawks are only 2-3. They beat the Colts 27-24. The Colts are 1-4. Now the Rams did beat the Bucks by 10 points. You got to give them that, okay. But then they also lost. Okay, they lost to the Cardinals 37-20. All right. So I'm not saying the Giants are going to win. Certainly not going to say that. But they got a chance. I mean, the Rams are 4-1. All right, but they're not like steamrolling everybody that they wind up playing. Okay. So, I mean, the Giants have a chance. I'm very just interested to say, what does the defense do? Because they know they're a problem. Okay. All right. Patrick Graham, obviously, he knows it. He knows. They all know. All right. What is the defense going to do in this game? Are they going to step up? All right. And, play a pretty decent game and hold the Rams to 21 to 26 points and give their offense maybe a chance, or are they going to wind up getting blown out? It'd be very, very interesting to say. Hopefully, if the Giants wind up losing, if they wind up losing by double digits, I think it'll be like a late touchdown in the fourth quarter. The Rams score to go up by like maybe 14 or something. But I look for it to be somewhat of a close game. I said before, if the football gods are looking down upon the Giants, and a bad bounce here, or a bad call there, or something like that, the Giants might even have a chance of winning this one. I don't expect it, but as they say, on any given Sunday, anything can happen. So on this Sunday, even the New York Football Giants got a shot at beating those Los Angeles Rams. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there, and go Giants! Woo!